Alright, sweet. I'm gonna see what happens if I record this stream and see if I can upload that later. Yeah, I regret not recording the Hotline game. I think that's something I'm going to try to get in the habit of in the future, just so that folks who miss one or two can come in and pick over what happened afterwards. Also, kudos to my pal Danielle for helping me find this channel that just constantly has, like, spooky wave stuff. That reminds me, if you like seeing my art and you're in the New York City area, me and Danielle are going to be tabling Cosmic Con on the 18th and 17th of this month. Swing on by to purchase books, comics, and comic users' paraphernalia. Oh, Alex, so the good news is that I got the good ending. So I did not get turned into a mouse. Instead, I became the regional manager. Or, like, assistant supervisor or something like that. The downside is that, like, I think that also made me part fair folk. I highly recommend finishing the game yourself if you didn't see it, actually. It's kind of fantastic. I've already seen the ending of the guy's other game, but I might play that on stream sometime as well, just to, like, show off more of what the guy does, because it's really impressive. Yeah, I'm not above doing a Let's Play of something I've already finished. I am above doing React content. That's my line. Whoa, this guy totally fell down the stairs! That's great, Chief. I am the least funny thing of this interaction. I mean, it can be. I don't know. I feel like I'm not a huge fan of hanging out with some of these folks. Like, I don't know. Controversial statement, but if you read a lot of, like, old Cornish and Celtic mythology, fairies are jerks. Like, fairies are even jerks to each other. Don't hang out with those guys.
You're at the end of your trip. There's a good chance you may never leave here alive.
Right. That is right. Yeah. Nope, wrong layer. I do want to point out, though, it was also really cool that the game did something that was horror-related using, like, fairies and Celtic mythology that didn't feel, like, hokey. Like, I feel like a lot of recent indie horror attempts at doing scary pixies is like, oh, what if the elf stabbed you and there was blood, and that's not really doing it for me. This really leaned into, like, this is an alien thing with more power than you, and you have to know its rules in order to survive living, like, around it. And the fashion in which they did it was really cool. There's the good shit. That's a sad face. That's what I'm looking for. Word of advice to any artists having trouble emoting. Anything worth doing is worth overdoing. At the end of the day, what we do is pantomime, not photography.
She obeys my every command.
Somehow I think I was that creature.
Sometimes I have a feeling of doom.
But let's see, what else do I have on the docket for the next horror game? I could show you guys Undernauts, but I'm not sure that would be quite on par. I've got Stasis here. Amnesia, Resident Evil Village. We got some options. I just want to give my pals the good spooks.
The monster woman, she was wearing a negligee.
I have that? Yeah. So this one is facing down, this one up, this is the foot. Perfect.
The work of the devil. This place is cursed.
You don't care what the price is.
Actually, one thing that I'd really like to do, maybe in time for next Halloween or something, I'm gonna need a new name for it because right now I'm cribbing the name from somebody else that I respect. But what we might do is some kind of like creepypasta cook-off. Have people submit their homemade short horror stories, and the best ones get read on stream, and I do a little illustration go with them. If folks are interested in that. Yeah. Honestly, again, this is the creative outlet that I take less seriously. Is my thing not animating? There we go. Yeah, this is the creative outlet that I take less seriously, but if this thing does happen to be, like, to catch on with a wider following, what I really like to do is, like, Crypt Keeper or Elvira or Svengoolie type shit, where I'm hosting, like, interesting horror media nights. Let people expand their tastes. set up over here. Proportions are so much easier to get when you're drawing small. Like, whenever you see me zoom out in this comic, it's not just to show the environment, it's to remind myself that my protagonist is short. And of course, any puttering y'all hear in the background, that is again my wife. She might be joining me again next time we're doing a horror game night, because she said she had a blast doing the Crow Country one. Isn't that cool? I don't know if you heard that yes in the background. She is as small and quiet as a baby mouse. Is there any more basic and integral joy than repeatedly doing a slightly annoying bit around your spouse? There is none. It's just the happiest you're able to be. No, it is kind of funny. I was chatting in a pal stream last night, and they asked me for a couple of art tips, and I was able to very articulately explain, like, you know, what they were looking for in order to find a way that would be helpful and good for what they were doing. And then when I'm trying to explain my own process while I do it, I feel like a lot of it comes down to, yeah, you just sort of flip it turn ways, and then you this, you do the that. I don't know. What's so funny about having an area of expertise is recognizing how little you are actually able to explain what you're doing while you do it. A lot of it becomes muscle memory. Hey, Gutsy! How you doing, hon? Excited to game tonight? Fuck yeah, I'm excited for FlensCon. I love how excited you are for this scenario. Like, I was worried that we dropped something on you that was like a little bit abstract for the players to request, but it sounds like you're just as stoked as we are. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Actually, so don't tell the other players, but what I have in mind for, since you were giving me some control over how my character's rival works, what I'm thinking is, like, whenever I invoke her, she'll just turn out to have been using Gata Chameleon to replace one of our monsters this whole time. This is also my excuse to find out exactly how cracked that character ability can get. It can't mimic abilities, yes, but you don't know when the characters got replaced. Although, to be fair, I might also be just thinking in Blades in the Dark terms, where you can just randomly insert a flashback into a sequence of events. Yeah, sorry. Gutsy showed up and we immediately started talking about the other game that we're in. I mean, Leth, I met you through Tia's Discord, right? They don't do, like, looking for group tabletop RPG stuff on there? I could have sworn I remember them doing something like that. Playtesting, and I wrote one discovery. I am still proud of that one. Although I do hope I get in on art for the next Splat book, so that would be a huge feather in my cap. Professionally and, like, satisfying my inner 14-year-old Lee. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. Alright, we're gonna get a little bit Charlie Brown with this, but I think it's gonna work. No worries, Gutsy. I know you can't promise nothing. I'm just excited. This has been a fun project to be a part of. I like everything I work on, don't get me wrong. If I don't enjoy the project, I don't take it. But this is for like a thing that I've cared about since I was a kid. So it's cool that I've gotten to be involved at all. Yeah, I saw that. Honestly, I've been sort of thinking about that kind of thing a lot lately. Bog got his project delayed from his 20s into his 40s. Fucking Stan Lee didn't draw the first panel of the Fantastic Four until he was 44. I don't know, I've been kicking myself for not getting as much done on my own projects in recent years, and like it's good that I've been using that to motivate myself back onto it. But it is kind of cool that like, I don't know, the deadline isn't like 35. It's been a very helpful reminder when I've been on my own ass about aging a little bit. Like, it's not like my aspirations to make new things are going to stop when I get older. It's just that I'm going to be able to yell at the young whippersnappers a little bit more. I am kind of looking forward to that. Like, Curmudgeon Boog is definitely going to kick in on the 14th when I turn 34. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, you can do it fast, you can do it right. You know, I sometimes wonder if, like, part of this obsession with youth might be a little bit, like, tech industry brained. Like, we grew up in an age where all of the new innovations were sold as coming from young people. When, like, back in the day, half of the thing that was holding the internet together was some tool made by some, like, by someone's uncle for free. And shit like that. I don't know. It's been good for me to step away. And just focus on what do I actually want to do. Exactly. Old ladies, using knitting code put NASA on the moon. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to wait till I'm old to accomplish anything. There's a lot of things that I want to do, and I'd like to do them now. But it's felt good acknowledging that there isn't that thing looming over me. I've been feeling better. Watch, this time next week it's gonna be like, okay, well, your 30s are nothing. Actually, no, I'm doing the thing, because I'm already, midway through my 30s. Yeah, it's good that you're not fussing over it. I mean, yeah, that's a hard one to do these days. Take your time, hon. I'm not going anywhere till 5 or 6. Hey, Lisa, how long does it take to fry fish? Yeah, and how long does it take to defrost fish? Okay. Then y'all probably got me till 6. I'm cooking dinner tonight. And I promised my wife fish and chips. Honestly, that might not be a bad idea. Just for fucking Insomniac reasons. Although I have been sleeping better lately. The stress. Honestly, kind of weird. On the one hand, the job did turn out to be better than I thought it was, but I think I might have bombed it at the end. They seemed to like me at first, and then, like, as it went on, they seemed to be running out of juice. It's a shame, but I'm excited for the other one. See how that goes. Like, I ain't gonna lose any sleep over it, but, unfortunately, that was a day where my insomnia was kicking my ass, and I think that, like, it showed a little bit. Maybe for future reference, when I am going in for an interview, I should have more than a Red Bull for breakfast. Live and learn. Exactly. This one gets it.
Prince of Darkness sleeps soundly.
But, I don't know, I got the other interview with the deranged hippie next week, and it really does seem like a better work. It's funny, the guy himself seems like a hot bag of disaster, but, like, I was talking about this in my, like, RL Friends server the other day. There's a boss I used to have by the name of Crazy Abdul. Well, his name was Abdul, but we called him Crazy Abdul because he was fucking crazy. But there was a thing about him where he'd openly try to, like, do things he shouldn't, like, try to steal from you and shit. But if you caught him, he'd immediately be like, ah, you got me, and, like, and just stop. And compare that to, like, a bunch of other, like, more corporate or tech-brained managers where they consider screwing you over, like, the morally justified thing to do. I have really grown to appreciate, like, weird, chaotic small businesses as employers, where you have a close enough relationship with the boss that you can yell at each other. Kinda, Alex, yeah. Like, you know, it's so weird because, like, me and Abdul would get into catastrophic screaming matches into the middle of the print shop. But at the end of them, I'd still have my job, and sometimes I'd even get my way. Compare that to, like, a corporate environment where anything that's a bad idea that comes from on high, you must comply with. Like, nobody likes working for a small business tyrant, but sometimes you can win a fight with a small business tyrant.
Your position.
That's not something small.
Say yes.
Alright. I've been agonizing over this face long enough. I think that looks right.
In a peaceful town where
Actually, here's how I can find out if this looks right. Summoning my wife for a second opinion. What emotion is this? Okay, that works. Like, it looks like he's
peaceful town where nothing ever happens. In a peaceful town where nothing ever happens. Now that I realize the truth, it means nothing to me.
You laugh, but like,
No, G, no, I haven't.
Swiper No Swiping worked on Crazy Abdul. When, like, another corporate employer that I had just straight up lost my 401k, I couldn't Swiper No Swiping them. Swiper had already swiped it. All I could do was, like, threaten to involve the authorities. And that took time and effort and shit like that.
With Asana, it's easy to monitor projects across teams and track status and progress at a glance, so you and your team can make smart decisions faster. Try it for free at asana.com.
That's how chins work. When's the last time I really looked at a chin? You know what? Why am I bothering with all this? I can just cover it up with her frilly collar and thing. Yeah, Abdul was a Abdul was a funny boss. On the one hand, like, he was an old, so casually homophobic man he gave me daily shit about long hair. But if I snapped to him about it, he'd apologize. And also, he once tried to teach me to drive. Of course, the way he learned to drive was by stealing his roommate's car when he first moved to America. Like, I really cannot tell if that man wanted to throttle me or adopt me. Valuable experience in everything except what he actually meant to teach. Yeah, that's kind of the thing of it. I worked on Wall Street for 5 years, and I never got access to my boss's humanity over there. Don't work on Wall Street, by the way. Little piece of advice from me to you. I should probably be less glib about my work experience on the internet, but like, fuck it. I am definitely not interesting enough for somebody to seek that out. Oh man. Can you not hear it? I'm using this, Gutsy. Let me post that in the chat. Although if folks aren't enjoying it, I can skip it. Oh, actually, it's nearly over. I need to find a new one anyway. One sec. Let's try this. No. No advertisements. Oh no, this is live and it seems to have stalled out. Dead Mall Halloween Night. This sounds good. Yes, who indeed did let the dogs out. But yeah, no, Gutsy, you definitely have a point about the Wall Street guys. I remember when, like, when I was at that gig, the best salesperson in the office, who everyone fucking adored, there was, like, a disaster in his home country, and, like, you know, he was worried about his sister and wanted to head home for a bit. And they tried telling him no. And so, on the spot, they lost their best salesperson. And, like, the guy in charge had the gall to be like, I guess he just couldn't hack it here. What do you mean he couldn't hack it here? I haven't seen you leave your office in days, you Caucasian chicken nugget. What do you mean that this guy wasn't tough enough for the place? Yeah. This might surprise you, but I don't think that place is still around. I could be wrong. I haven't actually checked. Yeah, that's kind of a good problem to have. Well, it does sound like a good employer. That's good news. It sounds like you two made a really good team. It's funny, I remember being in the joint server when you were first, like, volunteering your services for the project. I'm really glad that worked out. I'm glad to hear it, Betsy. You deserve it. Well, I mean, actually, hon, if you're worrying about that, I could share some recipes. I've been trying to cook better and, like, healthier myself. There might be some stuff you can work with. Alright, next time I'm getting something together, how about I pop some of it in your direction? I've actually... This is another weird side effect of, like, I'm putting it down to aging and not just natural dad friend instincts. I keep hearing about what some of my younger friends are eating these days, and it's turning me into Senshi from Delicious in Dungeon. Like, no, don't you know you need vegetables? At least one vegetable? You're complaining that you're tired all the time. Have you eaten a single green thing today? Look, when in doubt, Brussels sprouts. They are the perfect delivery method for Parmesan cheese. I'm afraid I've missed that one. Don't let the stream fool you, hun. We are not micro-celebrities. As of yet. Nope, that's wrong. I mean, I feel like that does get you more notoriety these days. It's funny, I avoided drawing Not Safe for Work for a very long time, specifically because I was worried about, like, gaining a following that only wanted that from me. And that has not happened as of yet. But I still try to be very cautious to make sure that people who follow my work are aware that we are attempting to do substance here. Not that you can't have eroticism and substance, but I like to keep a certain separation. Sometimes Goblin TNA, yes. And of course there is the other Twitter account, but that's neither here nor there. Honestly, like, that kind of work really does level up your ability to do anatomy, stylized and otherwise. Drawing a little porn is good for your craft. Okay, no. What I said, Gutsy, you are selling me out of my stream. What I said was that it might be kind of a 90s throwback to have Goop Booth babes. That was a reason that, like, you may or may not want to have them. You are the one who pulled the trigger on Booth babes. Besides, kink shaming is my kink. Oh, totally. Honestly, figuring out a good shorthand just for, like, limbs in general is huge. It really is excellent practice. To move the leg. Dang it. Okay. Bring that foot closer to the middle. So that grip on it looks a little bit better. A little better? Let me take another look. Yeah. Double check how she looks in the big splash page. Okay, so penny loafer strap goes across here. Okay. Shoes are another one of those things that can completely drain out of your head in terms of like how to draw it properly. Actually, to make sure that I have time to finish dinner, we're probably going to call this at 5. So in that case, how about we start on that Cyber Rats page to give people a view of something new? What? Yeah, it's 4 over here right now. So I'm going to start on that splash page for the titular briny bastards themselves. I need high res because it's not colored. This one. So in order to explain my reasoning, the 3 briny bastards in order are the Mariner, the diver suit monster in the front who wields a nuclear axe, the Progenitor, the big shrimp in the back, and the 3, a trio of salt mummies who I have T-posing to assert dominance up here. How about some quick sketches? Make sure that I have a rough idea of how they all fit together. I've already drawn the Progenitor before. I'm going to start with the Mariner. Oh yeah. Oh, it's going to be a great poster. The whole thing together, I am really excited for. I'm just making sure I have the individual character designs first, so that I'm not figuring this out again on the fly. Oh really? So I keep getting conflicting reports on whether or not I should play the Alan Wake games, because they look extremely like my shit, but they also look like it took some doing to get them into the state that they're at. completely. Then, tiny little eraser. Put a crack in the front. Alright, I actually really respect that. I really adore games that are not actually fun to play, but like create an interesting experience. I remember I used to play BioShock 1 for hours for that exact reason. Like, I wouldn't try to advance the plot. I'd just skulk around in, like, tubes, or follow NPCs for as long as I could without them noticing me, and see what that did. Oh, they take place in a shared setting. That is interesting. Yeah, Rapture was great. I actually am really disappointed with where that series went. The second game had, like, better gameplay but worse writing, and BioShock Infinite was just garbage. Like, I spent that entire game waiting for it to become, like, a BioShock game, and at no point did that happen. I was just disappointed. Oh, really? Oh, that is interesting. Alright, I'm not generally one for, like, combined universes. Like, this is gonna sound like sacrilege to other, like, comic books readers, but I think that, like, Marvel and DC fucked up when they had all of their things take place in the same setting. Control definitely has, like, an SCP-like aesthetic, but I feel like it, from what I've seen of it, it loses some of the cosmic horror. Not cosmic horror. It's a video game, right? And so it sort of wants to empower the player and make them feel like they have agency over it. And I do feel like that loses part of what I really like in a good SCP story. So I bounced off of it pretty quickly. It seems like a fun game in and of itself. I thought Lobotomy Corporation was going to scratch that itch, actually, asking for an SCP-style game. But that didn't quite land for me either. Cool. Yeah, that's sort of the vibe that I get from it. I feel like most AAA games these days, that's kind of what you're signing up for. Like a 7 out of 10. Like, when you have that many investors involved, you can't really take any interesting creative risks. And so you get these, like, samey, like, RPG shooters. No, I got really into Lobotomy Corporation because part of the idea is that it was a management game. You acquire the thing, and then you have to figure out what its deal is and how to keep it, like, you know, put away and involved. But the more I played it, the more it sort of felt like a phone game, like a gacha game without the gacha. Every so often I crack it open again and be like, it's almost there. Try again, actually. That would explain it. That's why they moved on to another fucking, like, another fucking gacha game. Library of, not Library of Arena, there's a new one. The thing with the sinners. Oh man, the Sly Cooper series is great. Yeah, I think there was Lobotomy Corporation, and then there was Library of Ruina, and now there's the new one, which is basically just a desktop gacha game. complete with, like, roll to get new abilities for your 13 characters. Actually, this one's gonna get me in trouble. I do feel like some of the Banjo games are a little bit overrated. I think part of the reason it's so memorable is because it was doing something on the N64 that the PlayStation did all the fucking time. Your nostalgia is not all it takes to make a good game. I mean, what was Sly 3? Because that had, like, a big cast of characters. Was it phenomenal, or were you 6, Gutsy? Yeah, was it phenomenal, or did you remember playing it when you were 6? Man, it's been a while since I've picked up any of the Banjo games. I don't know, I'll think about it. I wonder if you can get a copy of it for the Switch. Okay, I'm starting to feel good about how the Mariner's coming together. I was committing too hard to my reference photo at first. I think this is the good shit. And I do not doubt that it is satisfying to go back and resolve a puzzle you've done before. Actually, let's see, what is a platformer that I think would hold up that well? I was kind of more of a Sonic guy. I liked fast-paced things. I'm just fucking with you, hon. At the end of the day, I don't really have a horse in this race. I did not, as a kid, play the original or the sequel. I played some of the original at my wife's house when she was younger and living with her folks. But I do think it is important to occasionally revisit questions about your own taste. Okay, I'm not trying to like hurt your feelings. Sorry, hon. I don't know, maybe I'll give it a go and take a look. But I do think it's important to, like, sit down and re-critique some of these, like, some of these classics to decide whether or not they are still holding up that well. Not just, like, in terms of comparison to modern tastes, but, like, just to keep yourself from falling into nostalgia goggles. Like, there's a lot of things that I really adore because I associate moments with my life with them that, like, I'm not sure I would still say hold up to my standards of a good game. Like, Gutsy, for the record, I was not trying to actually hurt your feelings about your game. I'm trying to, like, encourage a critical eye towards things that make you happy. Because I think it can be helpful. I feel that. You know, what I remember really enjoying a lot about Sly Cooper 2 was, like, the sheer tonnage of things you could do to just fuck around. Like, that's sort of what I like in a platformer. The ability to crack open your favorite old level and do it again and just sort of space out with it. So for Sly Cooper, the big thing that sort of kept me chugging along was just, like, pickpocketing enemies or finding new weird routes through the thing. I feel like, I remember when I first played Binding of Isaac, I thought it was a brilliantly done roguelike, but I'm starting to wonder if it was just my first roguelike, you know? Yeah, and it's fun. I'm sorry, my wife has heard the conversation. Well, I mean, Gutsy, the first roguelike was Rogue. People were doing that before Binding of Isaac, but I would say Binding of Isaac was the first one to get a certain degree of, like, mainstream success, if that makes any sense. I'm certain there's other roguelike mechanics that were around at that time. Let me think back. Oh, this is gonna bug me now. Roguelite. I'm actually not sure. Yeah, I guess Warp Rogue was just more rogue. Spelunky was not before Binding of Isaac. Hold up. I'm not going to look that up because we have 40 minutes left and I want to make sure I get this character design done before then. Oh, wow. Man, Spelunky... I had no idea Spelunky was that old. I don't think there's anything wrong with a game being a little sadistic. I mean, when measuring, like, the quality of a game, I think the thing to always ask is, like, intent versus results. Like, Binding of Isaac was also never intended to be fair, and that was part of the point. It was for people who did not want a fair experience. And I think that in that it accomplished its goal. So I would actually call that a good game. And not just because my wife who likes it is in the room with me. Ha! Yeah, like, I don't really think a game being mean or delighting in that meanness is a deal breaker or even a marker of quality. You just have to, like, it's meant for this specific experience. I actually used to get into this with this, like, Gamergate adjacent chud in my college all the time. Before you ask, she's no longer a Gamergater. She's doing great now. But, like, at the time, her reasoning was basically like, no, you can objectively determine if a game is good by these rubrics, which happen to just be numerically quantified versions of my own personal taste. Oh, Gutsy, if you get me into this, we can start having longer conversations about how well a creator knows their own work after it's been passed into the public's hands. Like, George Lucas has repeatedly said that he made his classic movies wrong, and we're all mad at him for that. Yeah, I think I agree with Leth on this. Like, the subculture around the genre has moved away from snide shit. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, that's kind of the good thing about any kind of media analysis. It is ultimately all subjective. You can communicate your feelings more or less clearly, but they are still, at the end of the day, just your feelings. It's part of why I like it. The argument never really has to end. This can also make me prone to picking dumb fights about it in order to see what people, how well people handle it. But I like these discussions. I feel like they are good for the health of the ecosystem as a whole. Gutsy, I'm sorry. I know plenty of trans chicks with garbage taste. Like, in light of my earlier commentary, whatchamacallit, is Adam Driver hot or is he just tall? Whatever you say, darling. And yeah, no, Gutsy, the man is fridge-sized. Although, Alex, facts. So I do like a hard game. I like challenges that make things satisfying. But, like, when Armored Core 6 came out, and people who had been fans of... This thing happened with FromSoft fans for a bit, where all of these, like, Get Good types moved into its fan base and never wanted to talk about Armored Core games anymore. Like, the FromSoft Reddit would fucking ban you for talking about the robot game. And so when the new Armored Core came out, it was really funny watching these people who came into the game that it came on to like an interest in the developer through Elden Ring, suddenly, you know, get into Armored Core and try to do it without their iframes. What do you mean dodging doesn't make me invulnerable? What does the dodge do? Well, it puts you where the bullets aren't, bud. We do a little trolling. Alright, how much of this old diving suit stuff do I want to incorporate? There's a lot that I like here. Honestly, if I had things like exactly my way, well, I mean, yes, Gutsy, but that does beg the question. Is he hot or is he just tall? But whatchamacallit? Yeah, Leth, some of those challenge runs can be really fun to check out and stuff like that. But, what did I say? Fuck, it was right there, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's gone. Alex, your brain is huge. I was actually just thinking about that. So when I was running playtests of this, I had it in my head that the diver as a recurring villain could really change the like the arc of the game a little bit. So when they first encountered him, I basically threw at the players, okay, as all cyberrat operatives addicted to like glowing green slime, you all have a little bit of psychic awareness. Not enough to be a mind job, but you know, enough to have a little bit of extrasensory perception. The same way any rodent can tell when an earthquake is about to happen. And as you arrive at the Arctic base, you feel from the ocean an intense loathing. As deep as the sea. Something in there hates you. It hates your white teeth and your red meat. It hates the next of kin name on your character sheet for loving you. Hate. And then I had the diver burst from the water. And you could totally lean into some sort of like a clearly I shouldn't, but situation. Hey, Alex, good one. I don't know. One thing that I really like about the addition of the bastards to the Cyberrat setting is that, like, the aliens just want to take over your planet, and Valdivian just wants to do their job, and the military just wants you to stop robbing them. The bastards are the only baddies in the whole thing whose really whole motivation seems to be pretty personal. They hate the surface. They want y'all gone. So leaning into, like, characterizing them seems like constantly the way they should go. Not only should the diver be romanceable, the progenitor should be romanceable. Actually, what if he has a lung? Yeah. I mean, yes, that's gonna happen. I mean, Gutsy, if it's above your room and you can smell it from where you are, that might be worth checking on. Like, not to start drama, but, you know, before it's a problem for your roof. How many wings was the progenitor supposed to have? Let me check the wings. Oh, that sucks, huh? Master copy. Wait, what am I doing? I should probably check this. Hold on. Oh shit, did it turn off? Damn it. Still on screen? Yes, okay, cool. Dive, here it is. Alright. Says it should be dragonfly themed, so 4 wings. Perfect. Dope, 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 dope. Alright, now there's a monster. And you make the legs kind of long and lanky too. Give it a bit of a hunch. Like, I'm wondering if, lore-wise, the progenitor is just an advanced version of those other, like, lobster mothman enemies that the progenitor can throw at you. Which would be a fun way of fucking with the players, because, like, you beat this guy and he's a major boss, and you didn't know you'd be able to pull it off. And then you find out he's just an evolved version of the new basic mook that they're throwing at you. Yeah, I can't have NyQuil anymore because I owe the Shadow Man money, and I don't want to see him. What, Cyber Rats? Actually, maybe. I was playing a lot of it when the playtests were going on, and running my own playtest besides, so there's definitely other stuff I want to run before the next time I do it. But, when the artwork is ready and the new version is coming out, it probably would make sense to do another stream of it for folks to see the fruits of our madness. Once all the art is done, of course. Actually, would be kind of fun. See what the new group thinks of it. Maybe have black ooze coming from like tears in the suit. I like the idea that whatever's inside this guy is nearly all whipcord muscle, but if you crack it open, it's just the black inky slime. Because part of the whole thing, I remember his stat lineup had like an inked effect as well, and he can hurl propane tanks around and stuff. Like, he is a big close combat fucking problem, and I like the idea of any close examination of what's actually going on with him or what's inside the suit is just going to be upsetting and get you no answers. Nastier and more indeterminate. Like, a rat swarm at a distance might look like a liquid, but this guy is clearly like some kind of lichen that's taken over... Lichen, sorry, that's taken over a body. Like, my one regret from my design in the initial core Cyber Rats book is that some of the aliens were a little bit too cute and, like, merchandisable. Like, at no point are you going to be negotiating with these guys. You're here to explode them. So I want them to look awful. I want the player's immediate response to be like, oh my god, what is that thing? Kill it. And so I'm hoping to correct that with the bastards a little. Yeah, maybe. Preps you for the eventual alien takeover. The bastards have no intention of moving in. They just want everyone on the surface fucking gone. Leave the ocean alone. Alright, I feel like I've got the frame down, but that diving suit definitely needs some embellishments. Let's see what I can find for good reference images. Wait a minute. Yeah, actually. You know what I really appreciate? I've got people who look at my art nowadays who understand what I'm going for with a horror monster design. Like, sometimes if I come up with a horrible ghoulie, having everyone up in my mentions talking about how badly they want to pet it makes you go like, oh, then I didn't make it gross enough. I failed at my task. I'm really glad that I've got people who know how you're supposed to clap for a horror design, which is, I hate it, I don't like looking at it, why is this happening? Alright, so here's where I'm... Ooh, wait a minute. So I wasn't really sure what to do with the side window on it. What if that's where the feeding proboscis comes out? Oh, I'm really liking this idea, actually. Duplicate in case this turns out to suck, but... So it's got, like, this ring here. And this overlaps it a little bit. And needs a hinge. So it's like... Did these things open on the old thing? Yeah, they open sideways. Texture this so I can tell where the neck is. Then we just... layer. So I agree with you that that would be a scarier thing to go with, but the issue is getting it to fit with the diver head, because I do want that faceless vibe. I just want to imply that whatever's under there is fucking horrible. Although I like how you're thinking here. But yeah, I like the idea that whatever's inside that shell, it's soft and it's terrible. Let's see. Got the thing hanging open. Oh. Fill that. Down. Layer. Yeah, I'm basing this loosely on I forget the name of it. This kind of worm with like a long brachiating feeder proboscis. But with a few bulges along it, implying that it almost has like a crop and organelles. Let's see. Alright, so if I go back in here and just kind of... that. This is looking like a scale. Overall, I like it, but I feel like it needs something. Alex, thoughts? Like shiny. All right. I'm gonna render this a little, just to get the vibe. Just sort of like a little coiled up intestine thing inside this crop inside it. That goes up into here. Oh yeah, I remember when you were doing the playtest, you put him down as a big chonky guy. I always pictured him as like slender and powerful, almost like an orangutan, you know? Because you also gave it those wings. So like it's strong, but it's speedy. I feel very good about this, actually. Yeah. All right, I gotta design the axe though. Oh. Oh no, it's almost 5. Okay. I think I'm gonna call it for today in that case. I might actually do another one of these streams tomorrow if I drum up the energy. But yeah, I'm feeling good about this. Thank you all so much for popping by. Now that I have the design for... Okay, so we've got the diver, and on the cover we have the approximate design for the progenitor. So I just need to design the 3 witches, and then we are ready to assemble them onto the final thing. With that, I think I'm going to call it here, because I promised my wife fish and chips, which means she is getting those goddamn fish and chips. And also, I am probably about to get yelled at for talking shit about Adam Driver. So, thank you all for popping by. I adore each and every one of you, and I will see you next time I jump on stream. And Gutsy, I'll catch you later at the game. Later.